Okay, so we're back to it. To be honest with you, I did way too much. So the last video, basically all of that video was filmed in one day. And so what we're gonna work on today is we're gonna work on getting the engine mounts in, getting the engine mounts mounted to the subframe. As you see, we're pretty close. And then I don't know, there's that corner of the oil pan, right there. That's what's hitting the subframe. Other than that, we are free and clear. All the way across. I don't know if I can see this one, but this engine mount, yeah, that engine mount's sitting on the subframe. So, and then we are like, so the Subaru CV axles with the transmission in the center line of them was like here. They were like an inch ahead of that, if you can see through the, right there. We're just slightly, or the transmission's slightly further back, but we have enough room up front to bring it forward. So what I'm thinking is if we can get it to come forward where we need it. Also, the shifter linkage when the transmission is hitting on the tunnel, there's decent marks there, so I can cut that part out and then make a new bit. So what I'm thinking is get the engine mounts kind of set up and sorted out to where they are an inch ahead, or I'll have to do some calculating and some math, but to where they're build a mount that's far enough ahead so that when I go to put the engine in, it just falls into place right where it's supposed to be, and then we can figure out everything else from there. Because from the looks of what I'm seeing, the factory Audi mounts on the factory Subaru subframe is the proper height for the engine to fit. Yeah, so what I'm thinking is I'm going to cut the intake down. So cut it off there, and then cut this part off here and get rid of all that. And then this is where we're hitting, is right here. So we'll cut all that off, smooth it off, weld the cap in. Because I can't flip the manifold, the valve cover, because it's different. So we'll just cut this whole piece off, move it back here into where the scoop's at so that it'll clear, and it's also going to be lower in relative to the hood. So that should fix that. And then this doesn't hit currently, but there's, it's right up next to the hood, right in this region, and there's not enough room for the charge piping. So if I just came off with this, and I was thinking like there-ish, something like that. That way there's better routing. Is it going to be efficient? No, not really, because that is centralized, so it kind of favors the middle ports the most, and then out to the fronts. If we come off the front here, it's going to favor the front. I don't know. That's still up in the air. So what we're going to start working on is engine mounts. Here we go. Okay, so here's our mount here. Oh, by the way, engine's out. And then there's a mark. I don't know if you're going to see it. There's a mark there somewhere that is center line of the mount. So what we'll do is we'll just get the hole lined up wherever center line of that mark is. I think it's right there. So like so, to where it's pretty close to flush with the subframe. Weld her in, and that'll be that. All right, there we go. There's one. It's ugly, I know. I don't really care. I'm running low on gas. So, but yeah, there's one. I gotta get the other one done, but I'm almost out of gas, so that's all I got for tonight. We'll catch you guys next time. Well, not next time, but in a second, you guys will see more. Okay, so I got this one welded in. Oh, nice and pretty like. Kinda, sorta. And I got my triangles for this one to go on that one. So we're gonna stick that together and then see how it looks. And then I gotta modify this, I think it's this area, this where there's no paint. I think I gotta grind that out, cut that out. I might hammer it in if I can. And then that region and that region. And yeah, then we'll stuff the engine back in and hope for the best. Oos. Okay, there we go. All welded up. Yep, sure is. Okay, that's it. That's all we got. No, actually, we got more. But I don't know what I want to do next. But okay, I'll figure it out. Let you know. Okay, so today I was gonna start working on getting that transmission to fit. I measured it, and we need 13 inches ish, and down in here between come on backwards, this point and that point where it hits is 10 and a half, and I don't think I can smash it out that far. So that means I gotta take the interior out because I gotta cut holes in the car. So that's what we're gonna do, I guess, because I want to get the car, the engine transmission here fitted into the car, and to do that I gotta pull the interior because I gotta pull the carpet so I don't start a fire, because I don't want to burn it down. So I guess we're gonna do that. It'll be great. You should come. I'm not giving you a choice. Okay, so we got all the carpet out and getting it washed. So now we got to come in. The reason for this is somewhere in this region. I don't know exactly where at. You can kind of see here, it's been kind of bonked in on both sides. I got to open that area up to 13 and a half inches. We are currently at, or 13 inches, we are currently at 10 and a half. So that sucks. I'm not super thrilled about it, but that's the only way I can get the transmission shifter. It's the shifter linkage. This part and this, the distance from here to the edge of this is 13 inches will give me space. So I gotta have that because that's in, I think first or reverse, one of those gears, the furthest out gear for the transmission. So we gotta poke some holes and then put the engine back in, make sure it fits, and then we will see, and then we'll have to go back in and patch the holes. But I'm not gonna patch them before I put the transmission back in, because if it's not enough, it's not enough. But yeah, so that's the plan for today. Hopefully get engine transmission in and set good. Just to pull it back out eventually, because I need to replace the slave cylinder, put a pilot bearing in, yada yada, so on and so forth. But yeah, so here we go. All right, so actually engine is bolted all the way in. There's no transmission on it. And I did some checking, and so I have to modify the intake. I do, but where did I put it? Oh, there it is. If I didn't modify the intake, this top piece here is like right next to the hood, so it's going to be really hard for charge piping. So I'm going to take a piece of 2-inch intercooler piping and just lop the intake off like right there in that region and weld the intercooler piping on. Yeah, I know it's going to be not ideal because it's going to favor the front cylinders over the rear, but that's okay. We're not making a race car quite yet. And then that fits, and then the valve cover I just got to take this piece here and move it back there, and everything fits. Hood closes, this clears slightly. I might have to do a little bit of trimming on the hood. And then look at that clearance. And we'll come down here. And everything clears. There's space. Come a little lower. All the way across underneath the engine. And that is engine mounts at the same plane as the Subaru subframe. So I thought that was pretty slick. And then the transmission for the shifter linkage. Because I moved the engine forward an inch, the shifter linkage is closer to the firewall, or closer to the firewall plane, right, as you would. And so I might not have to cut the transmission tunnel, which I'm hoping I can just bonk in the corner, the section of frame firewall that's like that, right, where it transitions from vertical to horizontal. I might be able to smash that part in enough to get it to fit. So yeah, I was just test fitting. Oh, and I noticed this, right? The fuel filter, I don't know if I showed this in the last video, it basically fits in the factory location. The bracket almost works. But then this upper radiator hose, right? That's like a good routing. Except for it needs to be on this side. So I have to figure that out. And then heater core lines, that's a nightmare because one's here and one's here, right? And the heater core's back there. And it's kind of a disaster back here. Right, so you have one heater core line that comes off of this coolant port passage here, and one that comes off of this lower, let's see if I can get it. Come on. That pipe, that black pipe, right down there at the bottom, right above the flywheel. And the lower pipe I could cut off in that region and plug it, right? Just plug it off there and then put a T in here, because I should have an extra T laying around with all the extra piping. But this hose has to go to this hose. Oh, you didn't see any of that. This hose here has to go here. So looking at it, the hardest pipe coolant line to build is going to be the upper one, because it's got to go the opposite direction of where it's at. And the lower hose almost works perfectly. Just the way it is, just trim it up. Almost beautifully. So that was a neat discovery. But yeah, also other discovery I made. Thanks Subaru in the 90s. God dang it. If someone can explain this to me, why Subaru thought this was a good idea. There they go. They ran the fuel lines into the car, right? But there's no access for the fuel pump. So I get to cut the fuel line, or take the fuel tank out so I can swap fuel pumps. Thanks. Okay, engine's out. It does fit nicely. I had to hammer that area in. This section actually clears good with the engine mount placement. And being further forward, the transmission mount might actually kind of somewhat line up. And she just washed the dogs. And what did Moose do?
He went and rolled in the dirt.
Yeah, the second she was done, he went and rolled in dirt.
He's a little butt.
Yeah.
And ran away 10 million times.
And as you see, he's looking for dirt to roll in still.
This one though is still clean.
Yeah. The dumb blonde, he's still clean. Huh, bud.
Boy. Nope.
But yeah, so
Go this side.
now, time to put this back in and see if it fits for like the 6th time today. All right.
There he is.
Moose.
Once upon a time clean.
Moose. What are you doing? Okay, I have made just an absolute disaster. Circular saws and aluminum. It's a great time. But I have the basis of an engine mount. We'll see if it fits. I don't know if I can do this one-handed. I don't. There it is. I don't know how much you guys are going to see. But once I get this in, I'll show you. Because I can't see nothing. There's one. And a 2. And a 1, 2, 3. And a 1, 2, skip-a-doo. Where's the third one? There it is. Let's make sure it goes in too. Ouch. Cramping the ribs. Ow, that feels lovely. And then that goes like so. Something. Okay. Now you come here. Okay, well, there's that. I gotta do some tinkering because it's hitting there. I guess I can cut that piece off. Trim those 2 bolts down. And then build that bracket so that it'll hold it properly. But yeah, that's the last mount. And anyone wondering, this is a Subaru 5-speed manual transmission mount out of a 99 Forester. I didn't modify it or nothing. I just bolted it in to see if it fit. Ugh. But yeah, it's coming together. It's starting to look like a real car. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'll, I don't know. I honestly don't know what I'm going to do. But I need to work on that transmission mount, but I don't want to. Because it sucks. Really wish I had a 2-post, but... It's not big enough. Okay, yeah. I'll let you know.
It's still wet, so the ink should transfer. Meet me at the side door. We'll sneak on through the main floor. All night, let's take a shot. Keep moving.
Okay. This looks crazy, guys, but hear me out, right? So those 3 pieces need to be welded together, just like that. And there's got to be welded onto this, right? And then everything works. Yes, I know. That's a lot of aluminum welding for no point, but I only have 1/4-inch aluminum plates, so that's what we get. So we'll get it all set up and we'll get it all welded. And then retest fit, and then I'll show you guys what's going on. Alright, there's the ugly piece now. my welder requires a 30 amp breaker. And the entire shop out here is at 15, I think, or 20. So lights, garage door opener, welder. And welding aluminum takes a lot of amps. And this is really thick aluminum, so I popped the breaker like 3 times, I think, maybe. I don't know. Really should fix it. Probably won't. But let's see if this will work. All right. And there it is in all its glory. It is ugly, and I will probably do some more supporting of it. I just have to get power. I might look at getting an extension cord and just unplugging the dryer for while I'm out here. Because, I mean, that's not a big deal. We do have clearance. Not very much. Not much at all. But yeah, there's that. And engine. Mounts in. Bolted on. I don't know if you can see it. I can't see the screen on both sides. So everything's in and supported on its own. It's now a roller. We don't have jacks under it. We're doing good. But I think that's all I got for this one. That was what my goal was to just get that done. Because I thought it was going to be a lot tougher than it was. And everything literally just like, it just worked. Super excited. So that's it for this week. Thank you guys for watching if you made it this far. Make sure to subscribe and tell your friends and leave a comment and a like and all that jazz. And we'll see you guys in the next one.